our old friend, the host and director, Junichi Yaoi. When we told Yaoi there might be a good opportunity for Nippon Television to get their own footage, they jumped at the chance. Yaoi had spent over 20 years researching the subject matter and chasing the elusive UFOs. Yaoi had once referred to the subject matter as the most impenetrable mystery of our time. So when he arrived in Mexico, he was intrigued and still in the hunt. Exhausted, it would be 3 a.m. before we would arrive in Puebla. After 3 hours of sleep and a full schedule ahead of us, Jaime, Britt, and I led the way to Atlisco. During the last 7 months, Atlisco had been a hotbed of UFO activity, and Jaime had arranged for 3 important interviews, beginning with the most important political figure in the city, the mayor, the first government official in Mexico to publicly discuss the subject of UFOs.
Y ellos me dicen, he's saying me that, as he told me the other time, he hasn't seen them, but many people here around claim that they have seen them, and they know they are there, and he knows there is something there because everybody's talking about it, but he doesn't know what they are or why they are here.
Probablemente trate de naves terrestres. Pues ha tenido proyección ya internacional y lo estamos ratificando ahora con la presencia del señor.
He's saying that this is giving this place an international projection because he just in last Thursday had a binational conference in the United States and legislators from there in Mexico. And he said that they knew about what was happening in Atlisco.
What does the Mexican government attitude or opinion to the UFO?
¿Usted conoce la actitud del gobierno mexicano alrededor del fenómeno OVNI?
Pues, licenciado, ya sabe usted que ha sido lo que usted externó y lo he certificado, autorizado.
He hasn't said anything. They are accused as everybody else. They have a military here, and they work with the UFO.
Oh, yes, but they didn't case the UFO.
Pero no han perseguido.
Do you think there is the connection between UFO and the Popo Mountain?
¿Piensa usted que hay alguna conexión entre el fenómeno OVNI estando aquí por campo Popocatépetl?
Pues realmente han sido áreas determinadas, como le comentaba, también se me ha dicho, algunas personas me han informado, que en la región de Tlaxcala también aparece el mismo fenómeno. En Tlaxcala pues hay un área arqueológica, ¿verdad? Y aquí no sé si hay algo por ahí, pero alguna cosa atrae la atención de sus aparatos a la zona.
He doesn't know. He knows that they are attracted to the area.
The question-answer session goes on for 1 hour. Major Ordonez explains that there is not a great threat from the craft and that many of his constituents travel to outlying areas to observe the activity firsthand. Remarkably, the government's position is like that of the citizens. Although they haven't any definitive explanations to the mystery, they are curious and want to know more. Word of our presence has spread quickly. Many people crowd into the mayor's office, disrupting the interview. More people waited in the street, and we were experiencing a classic example of what Jaime called ovni fever, which by now had become an epidemic. We cross the street and enter the office of the Comandante, of the Judicial Police for Puebla and the Supervisor of Police for the state, Senor Miguel Larios Cruz. Junichi asked the Commandante if the UFOs are dangerous. The Commandante responds that if there are beings inside these ships, they are not hostile or dangerous to us, adding that if they wanted to hurt us, they would have done so by now. Therefore, there is no need to feel threatened.
Seeing that we were coming and we were asking for his interview, he asked permission to his director. And the director said, no, you just have to say what you saw. And there is no restriction for the officers in the state.
What a refreshing change. There is no cover-up, no obstruction of his testimony. At the beginning of the flap, before everyone started seeing UFOs, his office had been told that objects had been seen near the pass between the volcanoes. Thinking that this was a drug plane, a stakeout was organized. A camera would be used to record the aircraft ID numbers so arrests could be made. The stakeout was successful. But the photo was unlike anything he had ever seen.
The photograph was taken from 40 meters. And he thinks that the object had a length of 10 to 15 meters, something like a DC-3. He thought it was a DC-3. That's the most used plane for smugglers. And he thought, yeah, that plane is going to bring the smugglers. And that's why he showed the picture. They analyzed it through a magnifying glass. And they realized that these were portholes.
Oh.
We head for the largest radio station in the area, which has become the control center for UFO reports and sightings. XHBP, Stereo Soul. The director of the station provides some shocking details.
They are in a county with 100,000 people. They consider the rating very high, up to 90%. Most of the people here are aware of the station and where they give the report. No. Found out that 90% of the people in Atlisco have seen the UFO, and the other 10% know about the UFO.
This was amazing. 90,000 residents had seen the bright objects that rule the skies over Atlisco and Metepec. And yet, with the massive sighting and front-page news coverage, the people remained calm. There was no panic, only curiosity for the mysterious visitors. A dentist in Atlisco, Dr. Rosas, had numerous sightings. Near the Pyramid Mountain, Teteolatitla, which means the Embassy of the Gods, a magical place that seemed to attract UFOs. Dr. Rosas had taken videotape of one such event.
Aquí está detenida en el cielo. Estamos percibiendo una luz. Ahí vemos que se regresa sobre la ciudad.